Alright, so boom. For a minute, I wanted to talk about Detroit Become Human, and now I have an opportunity to. Now, I haven't played it. I have it in my library, but I don't have a hankering to play it. If I do, I can just download it up. But for a long time, I was watching people play it. I watched a lot of people play it over the years, and I always had an issue with they always had the same outcome. And I know that's the design of the game. It's because unlike some other choice-based games, um, even it's trying to give you free will while also trying to tell a correct story. So everybody knows their path. Everybody knows that Connor is supposed to, fight back against Cyberlife and have emotions and join the RNA. Everybody knows that Marcus is supposed to lead peacefully and get changed, and everybody knows Kara is supposed to be, loving parent, and even though it's that she's taking care of an android, stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about various things that they use to, like various um, tricks they use to influence your decision making, so you don't choose to be violent with Marcus and so on, stuff like that. So for example, we're going to take the first level of Connor's introduction, which is the first level of the game, as an example in this episode. First thing that is apparent is they put you in a scenario that makes you want to feel like a detective. If you don't feel like a detective, you're not going to do detective work. They do stuff like introduce you to a scene, and it's the camera movement is fluent, so you go throughout the scene knowing various things. And the first thing you start off with is um, just the overarching of how you want to act in a situation. So when the mother comes to you and says, there's a problem, but you're an android, so you just just to start off, that you're already going up, you're going to an uphill battle that makes you want to think before you act. Another way is the another good thing about this game is the amazing way that they integrate the tutorial in the first level. Most people say a great game designer will always, the first time you play, unless you go into an actual tutorial, the first level should be a tutorial, and this first level is a great one. The ways that they show tutorials, if you go, interact with the fish, it shows pop-ups, as in like detailed descriptions of stuff. So like it will tell you what kind of fish it is and stuff like that. So it'll put you already in that detective mindset, and you know it'll also, and to also influence your, because the player, when you design a game, there's gonna be different players. Some gonna listen, some not. Having one central like unit to help somebody get to a point, you need to have multiple. So like a pop up on the right, pop up on the left. In this case, they have a giant, board that's saying go to this direction, it's telling you where to go. So it's popping up your objectives on the screen. And also, when you round the corner, you also get this function where you get to pause time and look at what you're supposed to do. A lot of games have this, that give the player a chance to breathe and realize what they're doing, so they don't get lost or confused, which is a really good part that they show on this one. And also blocking the player action. This is also helping the tutorial. You don't want to overwhelm the player with giving them a bunch of choices. If blocking an action, such as like they won't let you go directly outside, you have to go talk to the director first and see and get information from him. So that's basically limiting your space, but also is letting you know that you got to build your way up to something that extends, that impactful. Uh, Another thing is having detective-like questions. Once you talk to the director, you're given a bunch of questions, but they're all related to solving the problem, not handling it directly. So it encourages you to seek more information to get a better understanding. And what really enforces it is the mission success rate. When it's right there in front of you, and that's, as far as I know, that's the only game that's done it recently, where it shows your success rate. Well, you know, here or there in a certain mission. Is it's been a while since I've seen it, but Detroit has used it like phenomenally, because you don't want to go outside when it's red and you're under 50%. That's gonna be like, oh, I wanted to be as high as possible, so let me look around for clues. So that's why most gameplays of Detroit Become Human is similar in that way. And also they have a recreation function that can, so that you can directly see what happened. So it makes you really put you in that shoes of a detective. You really feel like you're there trying to solve this problem, trying to understand what happened, and it puts you in a mindset. When you switch over to character, and Marcus, you want to be, cautious yet, um, um, strong and a strong leader to lead for your kind, for Android, and it really does a great job with showing and also like moving between those two mindsets. And you can obviously see that while you play the game or you actually play the game. And another thing that shows this great level as a tutorial and a way to enhance or to make you choose certain decisions, that there is a hard limit. So if you stay if you stay in the apartment too long, the director will say, "What are you doing?" Questioning you about why it's taking so long, and that's basically letting you know, or that's letting you know that you've gotten all the clues, or that you're taking too long. And it really enhances the situation to make it seem like it's a real fucking shootout, like people are really dying. And that's how they integrate like the realness of it and the impactful, because all your characters can die fairly. It was unlikely unless you have it on a harder difficulty, but your characters can die. They will come back as the androids, but well, for Connor at least. But it's always gonna be there. That's always gonna be a stain on your record while you're playing through the game. And another thing is the response timer is it really puts the pressure on you when you're talking to the deviant on the roof. It really puts the pressure on you to choose the right decision. It doesn't really give you time to think, so you have to think fast and rationally. And that instead of overthinking something and choosing the wrong answer, the collective will choose be more sympathetic to the guy instead of saying, "Hey, stop doing that," because he has a girl's about to jump off the roof. You want to be sympathetic rather than being harsh. So those small things can be used in any kind of games to help enhance it and to also sway your player, because each player is going to play differently, but using those tips and those key things about Detroit Become Human will always it's a great way to move your player in a direction. Like, some games are really they'll show you how to do things in a different light. Like puzzles games, they'll leave you to your own devices, and you'll start from like a base knowledge and you grow to a complex knowledge of a certain task, and it'll go up and beyond. Detroit Become Human is more of a trying to it's a book, an interactive book basically. It lets you play how you want to play. If you want to go down those darker routes or those options that are not intended, or people would say not the true ending, then you can. But majority of people playing through it without intentionally trying to get the more different endings will come out with the same result majority of the time. I mean, but that's all I had to say. I just wanted to, speak about Detroit Become Human for a couple minutes. Just give a couple examples of how Level 1 is a great tutorial to the game, and also can sway the player's actions throughout the entire game. And just doing those small tricks will enhance any game to make sure your player doesn't get lost or confused with a simple, task or buttons, because really all you're doing is just clicking triangle and doing a couple movements on your joysticks. But with that, you gain so much information to know how to diffuse a situation. And it is what it is. So thanks for listening. I'm out.